Okay, this is going to be a quick one for Mortality with Meep. I want to get this one going again. My first symbol or concept was Q sub x, which is the 1 year mortality rate from age X. And now I want to talk about omega. Omega is the last Greek letter in its alphabet, and it's the maximum age one can get to in a mortality table, because of course we need to have finite mortality tables. For a long time, omega was conveniently 100. It's a nice round number. Very few people live that long. However, more and more people are living past 100. I remember a point at which TIAA, where I worked, used to send a handwritten letter from the CEO to someone when they turned 100 years old. The problem is so many annuitants were turning 100 years old. This was beginning to be a problem. So I don't know if they send a greeting, but it's definitely not handwritten anymore. So omega for a lot of standard modern tables is 120 now. To be sure, a few people, well, at least Jean Calment, the French woman who's the longest living recorded person ever, lived to over 122 years. That said, so few people have that having an omega of 120 is no big deal. I have used omegas of 140 or 150. This was taking a standard table and then doing some mortality projections of mortality improvement, and I will talk about that another time. But in general, 120 is good enough, and depending on what you're using it for, 100 might be okay. It's not really all that okay if you're using it for pension or annuity or income annuity purposes, but for life insurance, 100 is probably good enough. You're being a little conservative if you have everybody die at age 100 if they got that far for life insurance. So those are the two things, Q sub x, the mortality rate, and omega, which Q sub x is going to be affecting things far more often than omega is. Usually omega is so far above life expectancy from any reasonable age that it's fine. So those are our two foundational concepts for mortality. And next time I'm going to talk about cohort versus calendar year mortality tables and what effects those have. So yeah.